Welcome to my live tonight. I am Christy-Faith. I'm so happy to see you guys on this day before Easter. Let me flip TikTok here. Mirror the camera that way. The correct way. Hi, everybody. Hi. Thank you for being here tonight. I am Christy-Faith. I am going live more than usual because Thrive Homeschool Community is closing enrollment on Wednesday, and there have been a flood of questions, so many emails. So we want to make sure that we can answer any questions that you have, and also any questions about homeschooling in general. That is why I am here tonight. Education, homeschooling. I am the author of Homeschool Rising. You can't see it. Where is it? There it is. I'm the author of Homeschool Rising. Shattering Myths, Finding Courage, and Opting Out of the School System. It is a #1 new release on Amazon. Very exciting. It has a lot of reviews already. Awesome 5-star reviews. I'm so happy that people are enjoying my book. Hello, Instagram. Hi, TikTok. Hello, Facebook and YouTube. It is so great to see everybody here tonight. I am Christy-Faith. As I said before, author of Homeschool Rising, Shattering Myths, Finding Courage, and Opting Out of the School System. Can Instagram give me a thumbs up if my sound is good? Last time I went live, the sound was not right for you guys, and we want to make sure it's right. I think TikTok will be fine because you are closest to me right here. Welcome, everybody. I have been in education for over 20 years. I have read thousands of IEPs. I have worked with numerous families. We had a learning center and consulting firm. And so we consulted with A-listers and billionaires on the educational decisions for their kids. We did college counseling, remediations, tutoring, test prep. We did it all. So there is pretty much isn't an issue when it comes to education that I have not been exposed to, but probably it was put on my plate to address at some point in my career. So please don't hesitate. If you're struggling right now, if you have a learner who is having a hard time, please stay. Let's talk about it a little bit and we can get you some answers. Yes.
Okay. What resources do you suggest for a homeschool high schooler wanting to head into college? Asks Laura on TikTok.
Yes. Oh, hi, Laura. Hi. I'm so glad you're here tonight. So homeschoolers heading into college, we give the same advice to homeschoolers that we used to give conventionally schooled kids that are college bound. And that is you need to have an idea of at least the type of college, maybe narrow a couple down that you think your kid might be going to. And I know that's a big ask, but you kind of have to do that because, and everyone has to do that, because you need to look at what the college requires in terms of high school coursework, and you need to make sure that you are fulfilling those requirements and that you build a transcript that the college will then accept. And that is what private school kids have to do, public school kids have to do. You still have to take the ACT or SAT if that is required. Sometimes schools are test optional. So, it's interesting. Schools keep moving around on that. But still, you need those test scores to get college scholarships. So you're probably going to end up taking them anyway. And that's what I would recommend for homeschooling high school and setting your kiddo up. Look at hslda.com. They have lots of free templates for transcripts and things like that. And I think a lot of those are free. So, yeah.
And if she needs a test prep provider, there's Christy-Faith's list.
Yeah, and then you can check Christy-Faith's list. Do we have test preppers on there?
We do.
Oh yeah, we do. We have we have 2 people who specialize in homeschoolers doing test prep, and they're on Christy-Faith's list. So you should check them out. Christy-Faith's list is like booming like crazy. We are having people join it every day because they realize what a powerful force we are. And I made Christy-Faith's list because myself and people very close to me were receiving, honestly, discrimination because of our educational choice when we were in practitioners' offices, service providers' offices. And it was different, various things. Occupational therapists. This happened to me at our local children's ER where I was very uncomfortable and I was stuck in a room and I was being interrogated and lectured at. And so tell me if you guys have ever had an experience where you were at a service provider and everything seemed to be going fine. And then when they found out that you homeschooled, the tide changed a little bit. And there was now an essence of distrust. Maybe they started interrogating you a little bit. Maybe they turned on your kid and started asking your kid questions that is inappropriate. I heard a story the other day. Someone DM'd me on Instagram where they were in for a checkup for a 3-year-old, and they had been with this doctor forever. And that when the doctor realized that the mom was still homeschooling the 7-year-old, meaning I feel like doctors can sometimes dismiss us when we're homeschooling preschool because they think, oh, well, maybe she's just really attached, or the kid's not ready, or mom's not ready. But when we get into those younger, kindergarten, first, second, that's when people go, oh, well, maybe she is a homeschooler. And then the mother was extremely uncomfortable in the office with what ensued, and she was kind of stuck there. And I want you guys to know this word that is really important. It's called power differential. And it's important for us to know that word and be using that word, because we are in people's offices that have the power to threaten our family. And I believe in parents' rights. If you are a homeschooler, I hope you believe in parents' rights as well, because you wouldn't be able to homeschool without organizations in each of your state and also nationwide organizations fighting for your right to homeschool, which is your constitutional right based on parents' rights. So that was a lot, but that is one of the reasons why we were like, we've had it. Enough is enough. We need to rise up as a movement. And we do not need to be interrogated or worried or stressed out or have anxiety walking into any office with our kids, just in case someone who is misinformed, doesn't understand homeschooling, doesn't know the statistics or the data, then judges us. Because the reality is there are a lot of misconceptions out there about homeschoolers. And the thing is, and this is what you guys need to know, and if you don't know, you need to buy my book, because my book is chock full of data. The data shows that homeschooling families are safer, healthier, and more loving. So please, please, please know that, rest in that, and be very careful what offices you go into with your kids. Okay, yes, do we have more questions? I'll take a sip of coffee.
Over on Instagram, Andrew, what if your child is more interested in vocational or an apprenticeship in a trade?
Yeah, degree free. I am having someone on. I just had Amanda Reeves on my podcast. If you guys haven't listened to it, you got to go. She went to Stanford. She was homeschooled all the way and got into Stanford. And it was very important to me that I balanced that out. So I also invited someone on who is in the multiple 6 figures business, homeschool graduate, degree free. I couldn't get those episodes back to back because of schedules. I have to coordinate with them and vice versa. But that episode is coming out. And I think degree free is a great option. I am starting to believe in our college system and the businesses that those are. Less and less. I think that, of course, it's important. There are some vocations, some jobs where you still do need to go to college, but there are also a lot where you can get everything that you need in other ways. So I think that's fantastic.
Carly over on Instagram, would Thrive be helpful since my daughter is only 2.5 and still learning just through play? I don't know if I should wait until she's older.
Okay, so if she's 2.5 now, if you're going to start preschool, if you think you're going to start preschool in the fall, so August, September, if she will be 3 and you're going to start preschooling her, then yes, I do want you to join. We actually have a special place for you and a special Zoom per month with me and my mentors. We call it Homeschooling Littles. It's for preschool to 2nd grade, where all mamas who have preschool to 2nd grade kiddos come in. So it would be great if you're not going to start preschool this fall, then wait. It's not the time to join. Just wait and play. That's a great question. Because I don't want people joining and spending money when it's not going to be useful to them yet. Yeah.
Lioness, Thrive sign up, cut off on April 3rd. Is the 3rd the last day to join, or will it be fully closed?
You can join till what, midnight on the 3rd?
Yeah.
Midnight on the 3rd. Midnight on the 3rd, yes.
Erin Davis says hello.
Hi, Erin. I think she's on TikTok.
Yep. IG, Emily, what advice do you have for parents who are separated co-parenting?
Yes.
And one parent is not on board?
Yes. Okay, so I get quite a few calls to be a mandated reporter. It is not in my scope of what I do. However, I have resources to send people to when they do need a mandated reporter. So, for example, that's work where someone who knows a lot about homeschooling and knows the research and the statistics, they go and they testify in a courtroom. I don't think you're there, but it is challenging when you are in a co-parenting situation and each person, each parent is not on the same page regarding how you're going to educate the children. So one thing that I would suggest is in my book, Homeschool Rising, I have a chapter there on an unsupportive spouse, and I give you kind of a game plan. Not all of those items, but some of those items really do pertain to you. And meaning one of the things I say to do in there, and I am assuming that your ex is reasonable. It's really tough when the ex is not healthy mentally and things like that, and there's a lot of antagonism, meaning anything the other spouse would say they wouldn't agree to because it's more about their vindictiveness or other things. It can get really messy. But assuming that you have a reasonable co-parent, there is no reason why you can't have conversations, write down pros and cons. You can also say, hey, if I addressed these concerns, if I presented with you a solution where I'm addressing your main concerns, could we do it on a trial basis? I think asking for a trial basis is huge and very helpful, and say, hey, it might not work for our kid. It might not even work for me. I don't know yet, but I'd really like to give this a try. Would you be willing to let us try? And then you can have a reevaluation time, a date where you can reevaluate. So people often think that if you decide to homeschool, that means you can never put your kid back in the system. That's not true at all. So you can, it's not a forever set in stone thing. So I hope that's somewhat encouraging, and I have more suggestions in my book, Homeschool Rising. If you have anyone in your life who isn't tremendously your supportive cheerleader, I would love for you to buy them a copy of my book. I am kind, I am generous, I am loving. In fact, I even address them in my book and say, I know you love your, grandkids, nieces, nephews, whatever, and you're coming from a good place, but let's talk about the data and the statistics and the possibilities with what homeschool can provide. Because honestly, when someone has an open mind and they take the time to read the data, which I compile in my book, and they are a reasonable person, they will come out being a homeschool supporter. They honestly will. You kind of have to be, here's the thing, people, is the data is on our side. 87% of peer-reviewed studies show that homeschoolers are happier socially, emotionally, and psychologically. 50% of Americans are not happy with our public school system. All of that. We have social options up to the wazoo. Most of it, tap heart if you're exhausted from your kids' socialization, because it's something that we overthink, do too much of, honestly, because we're so worried about it and attacked for it. So I hope that was a little bit helpful. Yes.
Sam over on TikTok, what are your
Sam.
thoughts on year-round schooling? We're on year 2 and love it.
Yes, I love year-round. In my fail-safe homeschool setup, we talk about the different ways to structure your year. I have done year-round. I have also not done year-round. I honestly change back and forth depending on what's going on with us and in our family. If there's any, it really depends on your situation. If you're maybe having a baby, then that you're going to rethink that. This is all stuff that I go through with you in my fail-safe homeschool setup. So there could be a summer opportunity where, no, you actually do need a summer off, and that's what you do. So the nice thing is homeschooling is so flexible. You can do it when you want to. Of course, we want to stay legal always. It's not hard to stay legal, and you can still structure your homeschool how you want to.
Hey, Jules. She's excited to be working through the failsafe.
Yay! Awesome, Jules.
Melissa, so true.
And I think did you finish the 8-step yet, Jules? Maybe not. You've been busy.
Melissa says, so true. I told myself I would try homeschooling for 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been such an amazing year.
Oh, that's so great. Who said that?
Melissa over on Insta.
Awesome. That's so cool, Melissa. I love that you're enjoying it and you guys are thriving. It sounds like your kids are getting what they need. Isn't it so cool how quickly you can get through with your homeschool day? Too, it doesn't take 7 hours.
Andrew, I have concerns about CRT, DEI, and gender-driven curriculum in public schools.
Yes. Yeah. And you have every right as a parent. So one thing that I rarely get political, even my latest post where I mentioned the socialist roots of public schooling. Actually, if you read my book, I am so generous with the socialists because at that time it was a new idea. I don't really get political very often, but here's where I will, and it is a hill that I will always die on. And this is, I believe in parents' rights. Because if we start taking rights away from the parents, then the only alternative is that the state starts making decisions for your family. And that is then you're leaning towards totalitarianism. So it is vital in a free society that parents have the right to make educational decisions for their family. And it is okay if you do not like what is going on in the schools. I know people that homeschool to avoid CRT. I know people that homeschool because there's not enough CRT. And guess what? That is your right. We have that. We still live in a free country. And I think it's so important to maintain our rights. If you guys have a thriving state organization, please, please, please go to their convention. That's one of the ways that they earn all of their money so that they can continue with fighting for your own homeschool laws in your state. So the homeschool laws are different in all 50 states. And so my big organization here is CHECK. And I use them as my umbrella school because I want to support any legislation that needs to happen to ensure that we maintain our homeschooling rights and our parents' rights. Now, controversy. Do I believe parents have unlimited rights? No. I do not believe parents have the right to abuse their child. I do not believe parents have the right to do educational neglect. I do think parents' rights are limited and should be when it comes to criminal activity. Duh. But you'd be surprised how many people are like, nah, 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 nah. These people, they come at me, but that's okay. I'm strong.
Emily.
I'm stronger.
Thank you so much. I'm going to get your book, maybe 2 copies.
Nice. Yes. It's a great mother-in-law gift. And you can say, hi, I know her. She's really sweet. Here, she wanted you to have this. You have permission to say that. You can name drop.
Sam, do you ever do meetups? I'm in the Denver area and I've followed you forever.
Oh, awesome. No, I don't do meetups, but I do. So I declined all speaking engagements when I was writing my book. I just couldn't do it all because remember, I'm homeschooling too. So, but I'm starting to say yes to speaking engagements. I will be attending the CHECK conference as an attendee this year. I am not speaking this year at the CHECK conference, but I am going to be going there to hang out with friends. Are any of my friends here in my live right now?
Yeah.
But sometimes, so I was at a convention in Texas and we did do a meetup and that was so fun. So sometimes I will do a meetup when I am at a convention. Like, so it doesn't conflict with anything. Like the meetup in Texas, we did at night and it was so fun. And those ladies are in Thrive. So I honestly try to keep it safe. So I usually announce it in Thrive if we're going to be doing a meetup. And because I know those ladies in there and I feel comfortable.
Jules says her husband can only handle a little at a time. Supportive, but more like a substitute teacher.
I love it.
And she wants to know if there's any conferences in Minnesota.
We should check. So here, do you want to hear what I'm doing? I was just talking to a friend about this on Voxer yesterday. We like to apply to the conferences in the States where we have friends. So, yeah, I was just asking her like, okay, what's your conference so we can hang out? Because it's really fun those of us homeschool professionals to be able to see each other in person every once in a while. So that's really fun. And if there is a conference in Minnesota, Jules, I will be applying to it. And I have really good talks. They're really fun and amazing. And you better watch it because I might make you work my booth. I wouldn't make you do anything.
Kendra said the Texas meetup was so fun.
Yeah, it was. And the husbands were there. And so the husbands got to hang out with Scott. It was so fun. And Kendra had really awesome news. I'm not going to share it to the whole world right now on all 4 platforms, but I'm very excited about Kendra's news. I didn't tell you yet, babe.
I think you did.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jules is totally up for working the booth.
You know what? Honestly, booth working, I like to work my friends' booths because it gives me something to do rather than just dangling at a conference awkwardly.
That's great.
It's nice to have a job when you're there. Dang, I know my new word is dangling. Remember, I used to teach dangling modifiers.
You know any STEM organizations?
No. I mean, there's lots of STEM subscription boxes. I don't know of any STEM. Let you guys put in the comments if you know of a homeschool friendly STEM or STEAM organization. I know that we have like Code Ninjas. That's a chain, a nationwide chain that I'm sure is homeschool friendly because they want business during the day. But I don't know of any. Do you?
I don't.
Yeah. We have like here in Colorado at our homeschool co-ops and things like that, we have STEM and STEAM classes that are incorporated into the stuff that we do. We have collaborative days and enrichment days and things like that, but I don't know of anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. How does it work if I have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old and I'm trying to teach both of them history at the same time?
Okay, a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old both trying to teach history at the same time. What I would do is I would find a family together curriculum where you're in the middle. The reading level is in the middle, and that's what you're reading out loud. That's what I would do. And because the thing about history is you don't need to make sure that you're like above grade level. History is history. History is about ideas and being changed and really good discussions. That's what history is about. So you don't need a boring, long, textbook. You could honestly teach the older one with a picture book, and you can have intellectually stimulating conversations at his or her level there, and then the younger one can do age-appropriate work, him or herself. Yes.
M. Sanders, I struggle so hard with finding the motivation to homeschool. You inspire me.
Oh.
How do you do it?
Oh.
TikTok.
Oh, M. Sanders, you're so sweet. So I change things up. I really do. I change things up. I take days off. I take breaks. I do my own unit studies that I make. In Thrive, you get a unit study most every month. Not every month. We do other cool free deliverables sometimes. But like we just launched Dr. Seuss for Dr. Seuss Day, and it was a unit study. So I try to take breaks. I try to have fun. I try to love on my kiddos. I try when we're feeling burnt out and the winter's getting long. I went and I got a yearly pass to the Science Museum, and you know what? Like we've seen everything there, and they still like going back, and they still like seeing those IMAX movies and the 3D movies. And it was a great thing to do all winter long because it was indoors. And I don't know about you guys, but for you guys, has museum food up-leveled? Because it really has here. They have like even the hot dogs are like a higher quality. They have warm pretzels like that are going around in the thing, the yummy kind. They had fresh sushi, and it wasn't questionable. I promise. It was fresh sushi brought in from a sushi place. I was like, this is a museum. This was awesome. Yes. Oh yeah, Julie. Yeah, her son's on a Lego team. I just saw that comment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, robotics groups, awesome. Yeah.
Oh, in Hawaii, I think. Yeah.
Yay! There's a couple people in Thrive that are in Hawaii, which is so cool.
Okay, Andrew. I hope to become a grandparent soon, but my son and his spouse are professionals who don't believe in homeschooling. Can you recommend a resource that can inform them of the value of homeschooling?
Yeah, my book. Where is he? What platform?
He's on Insta.
Yes. Buy my book for them. It's actually on sale right now. The publisher priced it at $27, and last I checked, it was only $21. My book. I think it would really help tremendously.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Oh, it was Julie Blakeman. Yeah, first Lego League community teams.
Yes, that is so cool.
Um,
Are you guys hosting tomorrow for Easter? Those of you who celebrate Easter, are you guys hosting? I am making a ham and a turkey. And I don't know if you know this about me, and I am prideful about this, is I don't think anyone in the world makes as good of gravy as me. I love gravy. I am picky about my gravy. I have everyone leave the kitchen when it is time for Mama to make her gravy. Babe,
lock it down.
he loves my gravy. And I make it from the drippings, people. I do not make gravy from a packet. That is sacrilegious. So I'm making, and I'm brining my turkey right now, which just makes the gravy even better tomorrow. And you do not use flour to thicken your gravy. And you know what? I will take you down. If you think flour is the right way to thicken your gravy, I will take you down. But I'm really excited about my gravy tomorrow and my brine. It's a new brine that I haven't used before. Usually I do a brine that involves orange juice, but I didn't this time. Are they fighting me on the gravy?
No.
They better not.
There's some.
I will take them down.
Okay, Andrew wants to know the title because it's backwards on Insta.
Oh, sorry. Is there a way to make me not backwards on Instagram?
We can't do that right now.
Okay, it's called Homeschool Rising. Shattering Myths, Finding Courage, and Opting Out of the School System. It's on Amazon Prime. If you just do Homeschool Rising, and then it'll auto-populate Homeschool Rising by Christy-Faith. It is a brand new book. I wrote it to be non-sectarian. A lot of the great homeschooling books that even I have found inspirational and I love to this day are religious. It was very important to me that I wrote a book that was a case for homeschooling, a rock-solid, watertight case for homeschooling that did not include religion whatsoever. And I am a faith-based person, but I needed this book in our homeschooling space, so I wrote it.
CTC Math popped in.
CTC! You guys, who is using CTC Math? We love CTC.
Lioness, in Thrive, do you by chance have any lists of learning outings to do in each state? Like museums and such?
Your state org will probably have that. A list of field trips. Also, your free Facebook groups will also have field trip ideas. But yeah, that was tricky. I remember when I first moved to Colorado, I was like, what's here? And what's surprising is some of the best field trips are what you wouldn't expect. Like here, the Denver Mint, for example, is an awesome tour. Totally amazing. And you wouldn't think, and you find out all these secrets, and there was even a heist, and you find out all about that. And so some of these are just so great. Also in Colorado, we have a lot of living history museums where people are dressed up, which I love that. And I know Julie has that where she is too, because she's on the East Coast. Yeah.
Kendra wants a Thrive Gravy supplement drop.
A Thrive Gravy? I will not tell you my secrets. I just have to have you over for you to experience my gravy. I will not disclose how I make my gravy.
Lioness.
I'm actually, it's not a secret. It's just, I just happen to be, I'm like, I gaslight myself, and I have, what is that called when you don't believe in yourself all the time? What is that called? Not like inferiority complex. Imposter syndrome. I have imposter syndrome in every area of my life except for my gravy making.
Darren Rice over on Instagram. Would you be interested in submitting articles for our quarterly publication, Homeschool Digest? This would be for Wisdom's Gate Ministries in Michigan.
Yes, will you email me? Absolutely. What platform are we on right now?
That's on IG.
Yes, absolutely. I would be interested in that. So email the hello email. If you go to my link tree and you go all the way to the bottom, there's a little icon that says email me. Click on that and do that tonight because I get a lot of emails, but I'll specifically look for yours to make sure it doesn't get lost. And I'll find it because I don't check. Anyway, you guys know. Yeah, I will look for it and I will find it. Yeah.
Lioness wants to know what's the CTC math.
Okay, we'll talk about CTC math. Aaliyah Schneider has had my gravy. And she says it's good. And she's going to have it tomorrow because she's coming over. Okay, let's talk about what they want to know what CTC math is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, what?
Yeah.
Okay, so CTC math is an online math curriculum and also math supplement. I just did a video talking about how it's a great tutor for your kid as well. CTC math has been completely transformative for us because we were just hitting a standstill. I am a little bit of a math insecure person. Scott was the one that ran the math department at our center. And so math was a struggle every day. And what I love about CTC math is that it does all the teaching for you. You guys take notes. It does all the teaching for you. It does all of the grading for you. It is gamified. So your kid is enthused all throughout. They get fireworks and things like that. It is intuitive, so it challenges just enough so your kid is never totally discouraged and also never bored. It's intuitive. It is a mastery-based math program, which if you know about math and the way math curricula is written, you have a choice kind of spiral method or mastery method. Scott and I, our educational professional opinion is we prefer mastery-based math curriculum that incorporates mixed reviews. We like our kids to have a grade level mastery of that particular concept and yes, move on to another concept to then have mastery on that, but incorporate mixed reviews all the way. So for example, I assign my son a mixed review every week. So he never forgets what he's learned. What it's done for me is it's freed me up to work with my other kids. If you are a busy homeschooling mom, a working homeschooling mom, you got to look at CTC. And it's totally freed me up. And now I'm more of like the CEO of math where I get a weekly report. Yes, I still hold my son accountable. I check in with him. I make sure he's understanding. I go in and I look. He's not abandoned with it. But it is truly... I think that what CTC has done and the way they have done it, because of them, families that maybe couldn't homeschool before can homeschool now. Because, quite frankly, math is one of the reasons why people stop homeschooling in the older grades, because it is so intimidating and so hard, and you basically have to learn trigonometry again. And who has time for that, right? CTC completely solves all of that for us. It is K to calculus. How was that?
Great.
Awesome.
Somebody's saying how on Oahu, there's so much homeschool activity, so many things to do, so many co-ops.
Oh, awesome. I want to come and speak at your conference.
Heck
We should look up the Hawaii conference.
Yeah.
And bring the kids.
Let's go, Oahu. Come on. Where's the invitation? Send an email.
I'm already booking. You guys, they book early. I'm already booking 2025.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, Linus. Yeah. We don't have one that I know of. Help us set one up. I'll help.
I'm sure you do. I'd be surprised. I can look it up and ask if you have one. I'd love to know what your motivations are for homeschooling. In my book, I go over all the reasons why parents choose to homeschool in our nation: child safety, mental health, better academics. Let's see, what else family dynamics. You just don't want your family apart. You want more family time together, and overall well-being of the child. I'd love to know what your reasons are for homeschooling. And I go over a statistic that's a little bit startling in my book. The U.S. Department of Defense reports that 13 million military personnel died due to hostile enemy attacks in 2021.
How many? 13.
13. U.S. military.
You said 13 million.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for correcting me. Sorry. 13 U.S. military personnel died due to hostile action enemy attacks in 2021. But in the school year in 2021, there were 43 school shootings with deaths, 50 school shootings with injuries only, and 53 reported school shootings with no casualty. That begs the question, is it safer to serve in the U.S. military than it is to attend public schools in America? That was very startling when I came across that and had that realization. I know that a lot of people were kind of thrown when they read that in my book as well. Also, statistics show that teenagers are the most stressed out, anxious people in America, and 83% of those kids cite school as the cause of their stress. They are citing school as the cause of their stress. So yeah, it's pretty heavy, and we can even go into academics, like the amount of kids graduating from high school who cannot read. It is, and you know what's so funny is homeschoolers are accused of educational neglect all the time. I have never met a homeschooler who was at the age of reading who couldn't read, or the parents were not fervently intervening and getting the child help that the system was not giving the child to get them to read. So isn't it so funny how often what people are accused of, it's like, you know, when you're pointing this way, how many fingers are pointing back at you, right? One of those things is for sure what's happening here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they answering why they homeschool? I want to see their answers.
Kendra, as a former teacher, I knew things were bad, but the stats blew my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so sad that so many parents in America think they're not qualified because they don't have a teaching credential. It's like 150 years ago is when the public school system started. Before that, no one needed a teaching credential. And educating the children was the job of the family. No one discredited parents saying they weren't qualified. It's kind of interesting how just several generations, what it can do to our worldview and our zeitgeist and our belief system that is just not true. I mean, throughout the history of the world, it was within the family, and with some exceptions, it was within the family's purview to educate their own children and make the educational decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking about homeschooling my 13-year-old, but not a little bit worried about getting him ready for college.
Yes. In fact, I want to encourage you, those of you who are worried about homeschooling and getting your kid into college, listen up. I'm about to encourage you so much. Number one, colleges are recruiting homeschoolers like they never have before because they are outperforming the other kids in college. They're also finishing at a higher rate, meaning they are not dropping out at the same rate that other kids are. And I really want you to listen to my podcast that dropped. Part 1 dropped Tuesday. Part 2 is dropping, Wednesday. Part 2 is dropping Wednesday again. And it is an interview with Amanda Reeves, who was homeschooled through 12th grade and went to Stanford. And she explains to you how homeschooling uniquely equipped her to thrive in a very demanding, academically challenging college environment. And do not be scared about college whatsoever. Colleges actually want your kid. So high school transcripts are so much easier than you think. And I know it seems really big, but they're not. It's actually discriminatory to say that every high school or graduate in America has to graduate from an accredited institution. That's discriminatory. You do not need an accredited high school transcript. You do need a transcript if you're college bound. Yes, you do. But it's a transcript that you make. All institutions make their own transcripts. You are an institution that will make your own. And I highly encourage those of you tonight whose kids are college bound, starting in late junior high and early high school, use test prep as one of their homeschool courses. I cannot emphasize this enough. We did test prep at our center for the entire time that we were there, and I cannot emphasize enough. School subjects do not prepare you for the SAT and the ACT. These are logic and critical thinking tests, and there is a specific breadth of knowledge and skill set that you need to excel well on those tests, and that is not taught in schools. That is why I would get the straight A student in my office in tears. Why did I bomb the SAT? I'm a straight A student. It's because the skills required for those tests are not skills that require you to get straight A's in school. So
she said, yeah, Heather says, daughter's in 8th this year and 9th next. What resource for test prep?
Yes, so go to Christy-Faith's.com. We have test prep people on there. And they deliberately signed themselves up because they are homeschool friendly. So look at ChristyFaithsList.com. You can get to it in my bio as well. Christy-Faith's List is a nationwide, it's actually worldwide, but let's just say for tonight, nationwide network of homeschool friendly service providers. People that actively love and support homeschooling. This is a way for them to find you and for you to find them. So, yes.
Great.
That's exciting.
The Thatcher 3, I work as a literacy coach for a local middle school, and the low rates are staggering.
Yes. Yes, they are. We have quite a few Orton Gillingham tutors and literacy coaches, people who do diagnostic testing for disabilities on Christy-Faith's List as well. So.
Oh, Sarah Ray in Thrive, I think. Homeschool definitely for safety, mental health concerns, and family time.
Yes. Who loves the family time? I just love the family time. I love that we just can have a hot breakfast, a leisurely breakfast in the morning. We don't have to skedaddle off and on a cold bus or anything like that. And we can sit by the fire and have our morning time. And those, I want, when my kids are adults, I want them to think back and have really warm childhood memories. And I'm so excited about that.
Heather says, thank you. I need all the help I can get. I have 3 younger ones that I will homeschool too.
Yes. Oh, nice. Is she the literacy coach?
No, she was the one with the 8th grader going into 9th and worried about college.
Okay, yeah. And also, you know that in Thrive, we have office hours just for you. We have teen office hours. So you guys, Thrive Homeschool Community, we are closing enrollment on Wednesday. So if you have been wanting to join Thrive, if you want to know what Thrive is, just ask here. But after Wednesday, you won't be able to join. Thrive is where my 8-step homeschool success framework lives. It's also where on Wednesday, we are starting this year's new and updated version of the Fail-Safe Homeschool Setup. It is a program that we are walking through together live. We are picking our coursework together. We are I coach you in that. We are doing office hours. I have 8 modules just in the Fail-Safe setup that we're going to be rolling out all the way until July. So if you are someone who stresses out, gets on the internet, the researching is just so overwhelming, you don't know how to compare curricula because everyone is selling their sizzle, and you don't know what a year looks like, you don't know how you should plan it out, what a month should look like, what a day should look like. You have different learners in your home, so you know you probably need different curriculum for them and you don't know how to pick it. This is what we do in Thrive. We help you set up a homeschool that gives your kids what they need now and prepares them for a very bright future so that you have a homeschool that you are 100% confident in and love. That is what I want for you. And the thing is that looks different for everybody because we want to honor our kids and their learning. So that's why I started Thrive, because I don't really believe in just like buying a big program and then all of a sudden, boom, boom. That doesn't work. So, okay. That's about Thrive. You can ask more, but we can go back to other questions.
Oh, the Thatcher 3. We've been homeschooling for years, and we're still thinking about joining Thrive.
Yeah. Oh, I have a lot of moms who've been homeschooling. It's a great place. A lot of people think Thrive is for new homeschoolers. No. I have so many mamas in there who join because they are burnt out or they need to pivot, or each year when our kids change and then all of a sudden we're like, oh wow, who's this kid? I gotta revamp. So, yes, homeschooling is whether you've been homeschooling a day or a decade, we can help you and we have a place for you and we want to love on you. Yeah.
Kelly, what did you call it when you do only 20 minutes of each subject?
Well, that's a Pomodoro, isn't it? Like the business term for it.
Mm-hmm.
But Charlotte Mason said that in the elementary years, lessons should be 15 minutes or less for little kiddos. Charlotte Mason did say that in her volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do agree with that. I don't think a little kid who is a kindergartner should be sitting for an hour doing anything. It's just not developmentally appropriate. Yeah. That's why homeschooling can happen so much faster. You actually get more ROI by spending less time because you're not burning them out. You also don't want your kid to hate learning. So you really don't want them worked to the bone at such an early age. And so that's why I'm just so careful, because some people are attracted to homeschooling because they want to create these intellectual savants. And yes, that definitely is possible. You can have a kid who is gifted and help them soar and go as far as they can. But in terms of what is emotionally healthy for them, relationally healthy, intellectually healthy, and in alignment with their brain development, shorter lessons are truly the best way to go about it. You're not getting behind. You're not missing out on anything. I'm a big believer in that. And lots of play. Kids, we know that they learn through play. And so it makes me so sad that that's like the first thing that's taken away from kiddos is the free time.
Yeah. Kelly, follow up. Feeling I need to pivot or something, 20 more minutes to get the love of learning back.
Yeah. Yeah. We can help you get the love of learning back for sure. Lots of suggestions. And it maybe curriculum changes, maybe some, I know this is going to, I don't know if you like hearing this, but maybe some subjects you go a little unschooly. That's something that I will talk with you about. If you join Thrive, that's kind of what we kind of...
She's in.
Oh, she's in Thrive. Okay, yeah. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Thatcher 3, yeah. Let's see. The literacy program recruited coaches from local homeschool families because we have a strong foundation.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Oh, I love that story. That's so funny.
Homeschoolers are readers, generally.
Yeah, they really are readers. And they love story. I think one of the reasons why we are so strong with our literacy in the homeschool space is because we do so much read aloud. We read out loud to our kids on a daily basis, and the majority of us do. Don't feel bad if you're not that person. It's okay. But I'm just saying that culturally it is something that we highly value, that a lot of us do. And that just makes our kids, it makes their vocabulary higher. It makes their critical thinking stronger. It gives you family collective memories, great discussions to have with each other about difficult topics in an age-appropriate way. It's just great. And I think that's, so when you read out loud, your kid falls in love with story, and then they have a thirst for story, which is awesome. I'm going to take some water.
What books do you recommend for my kids?
I have a free download that are some of our favorite binge-worthy books. It's a free download right in my bio, so grab it. Oh, you guys, also, I have a free 5-minute homeschool style finder. You should take that if you haven't. It's actually really good. A lot of those style finders on the internet are sponsored by curriculum companies, so you're gonna come out the style that they sell, and that really frustrated me. So I made my own because I don't sell curriculum. I really want you to find out who you truly are in yourself. It was a big feat with programmers and all of that to make it as accurate as possible while still being only 5 minutes. We did a pretty good job. And so please take that 5-minute homeschool style finder when you have a second. I also have a 26-page free how to homeschool guide. What else is free? Curriculum recommendations. I have free curriculum recommendations you can download.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christy-Faith's list is free.
Yes, Christy-Faith's list, you probably heard Scott, but I'll repeat it, is free to homeschooling families. That is very exciting.
So we got about 5 minutes left.
Okay, 5 minutes. Ask your questions. Homeschooling questions. Anything you have. Ooh, we watched Dune last night. that movie Dune. I really liked it. But I like sci-fi. I grew up on sci-fi. Do you guys like sci-fi? And that was well done. There weren't that many holes to poke. I mean, there always are, but...
Lioness, are those free guides available on the Thrive app?
Yeah, so I know. So what I did is I didn't want my Thrive members to have to like constantly put in their email address to get the freebies. So when you're in Thrive, there's a little button and all the downloads are literally just as PDFs in there. So yes, they are in Thrive. Yeah. And anything that I ever offer free to the public, it goes in Thrive as well, just as on an easy to download button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? I'm so glad you guys are here tonight.
Oh, the new book series is even better. Wow. But
Really?
But the new movies are certainly enjoyable and do the books justice.
Oh, that's so good to know, Thatcher 3. Okay. Awesome. That's fantastic. I'm getting Easter bunnies and I'm getting eggs. If you guys celebrate Easter, happy Easter tomorrow. I'm hosting. I'm making a turkey and a ham. And I do the ham with the cloves in it and the pineapple slices. And I do my turkey with gravy, which I did a whole gravy soapbox earlier that you probably missed. I'm probably going to be up tonight thinking, why did I go on and on about my gravy skills tonight when I'm asleep? Last night, apparently, one of our daughters came in because she couldn't sleep, and Scott told me that I kicked him to take care of it. You guys, I sleep kicked. I did not know that she even came in or anything. And so I was like subconsciously like, you get her. I had no idea that I did that.
How do we get added to your list of service providers?
Yes, so Christy-Faith list, it's right there in my link tree. That button goes right to the website and you can sign yourself up. It takes very short to sign yourself up. Also, if you have an amazing service provider that you love, a pediatrician, a speech therapist, anybody, you know who we had today? It's just so awesome how this list is exploding, but we have a person who specializes in financial planning for homeschooling families. That person signed up today. Dentists. Let me tell you, Christy-Faith list is going to be an amazing resource for homeschooling families. It is entirely free and will always be free to homeschooling families. It is a great way for people to advertise their business directly to us because we want to find the people who support us and we want to give our business and our time and our money to people who believe in what we're doing and support us. So that is what Christy-Faith list is. And yes, you have a question. And that's it. Yeah.
Well, no, I do. Yeah.
Oh, a question.
Linus, such an inspiration. You've relaxed me so much for getting started into homeschooling.
Good.
I've been wanting to homeschool for years, even before I had kids.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad. Yay. Linus, I am so glad you were in tonight's live. I'm overjoyed by that.
Sarah Rabe is sad, thinking about the gravy I'll be having tomorrow after hearing about your gravy. It is good.
Are you having a powdered gravy?
Mother-in-law uses gravy from a jar.
No. Oh, no. Gravy from a jar. The drippings are there. The delicious drippings are literally there. Like how? We need to have an intervention. A gravy intervention. I should make an entire account just to discuss gravy. My new TikTok account is going to be gravy.
My goodness. It's funny.
I love you guys. It's so fun when I get to go live with you. I had a great time. Look at my link tree. There's so many resources in there for you. Please check everything out, and I will either see you in Thrive or I'll be having a conversation with you as you're reading my book or any of the other things. And never hesitate to reach out and email us. We check every single email. Okay. Bye, everybody. Love ya. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I got to kiss all the platforms. Mwah, mwah, mwah.